Hello again, all you lovely people. This is Stevo here, aka the Running Englishman. Simply here to inspire you to be the best and fittest version of yourself. Because if I can manage to do it, then I think that you can too. So I had some comments the other day saying an idea for a video where I just talk a little bit about myself, if that's okay. Just let you know a bit of my background, a bit of my history in running or history in life, and just to give you a general idea of what's going on in the background scenes of this running channel, really. And towards the end of the video, I'm gonna try and keep it short today. Towards the end, I'm gonna just quickly talk about my my future running plan, which is starting next week. I'm dead excited about it, even though it's not nothing too far from what I've been doing. But I've set it all down now what I'm going to be at. So bear with me. We're going to talk about all those two things in just after this short intro. See you in a sec. So, as I just mentioned, I'm going to do a quick, brief, little bit of history on me if you're interested in that, and just a little bit of where I am now in life and how I got up towards this running and all that stuff. So, my name is Stephen Hall. Most people know me as Stevo, but you can call me whatever you like. I live in a lovely, quiet little town called Bicester. It feels like it's slap bang in the centre of England. It's the furthest point away from any beach, whichever direction you go. But I love it here. It's quiet. I have a busy lifestyle in a quiet town. It's just how I like it, really. It's not a lot happens around here. I'm married to a lovely lady called Heather, and I have a daughter of 7 years old called Violet. She's absolutely full of beans. If I had her energy, I'd be able to run a marathon a day. But unfortunately, I don't. But she never stops. I have another daughter on the way at the start of March or the end of February. So any spare time I did have, it's going to be taken by that, but I'll do everything I can to keep the running going and the channel going. I'm from a family of 5. I've got 2 brothers. I don't know how my mum coped with that, but I would consider us to be in a sport family. Ever since we were little, we've done football and sports like that, something we've always been interested in. I would say that I have quite a busy lifestyle. Like most people, you never seem to have a spare minute. But I always make time for the things that I want to do, like doing this YouTube channel and doing my running. I'll always try and do my best to make time in there, whether it's doing it first thing in the morning or just basically doing what I enjoy doing. So you don't want to be stuck in a rut of just working and being bored of your life. So make time to squeeze those things in. I work full-time as a butcher about a mile away from where I live. I've done that for 20 years since I left school, with me being 37 now. You might think that's just a stand around job, and you, as a customer, you'd walk in and think you just stood there waiting for people, but trust me, it is a manual job, and you're on your feet for 9 hours flat a day. When I look at my average on my watch, I walk about 6 miles a day just around that shop, so trust me when I say that it's not an easy ride. I'm a typical bloke, really, when it comes to the weekends. Things have calmed down now since having a child, but I used to go out every Friday, Saturday, drinking and doing all sorts. I was really unhealthy back then, to be honest with you. I'm gonna try and find a picture of when I was most out of shape. I'll put that here, unless I didn't find it. Yeah, I've been up to sort of 14 stone, which wasn't good for me of my height of like 5'10". I was in pretty bad shape. It was just junk food and beer and everything that I shouldn't be doing, really. But hey, you're 20 odd years old, bloke, you're just doing what everyone else seems to be doing. So was a stage in my life where I decided I had to lose a bit of weight, just trying to sort of get to where I am now, and it did take time, and I've sort of wavered up and down, and I always try to incorporate a little bit of running in there, but I'll speak a bit more about that and just my history of the bits of running I've done just in a few minutes. I'm trying to talk about some other interests that I have currently. Probably the main one is sport. I love sport, like I just mentioned. I've always loved sport. I'm a big supporter of Aston Villa Football Club. I chose them when I was younger. I don't go to watch them live, to be honest with you, because of time and just I'm not that keen, but I'm a real close follower, and I watch every single game on TV when I can, whilst all my rest of my family are Arsenal fans. Another interest of mine is food, as in eating it. I'm not one for, I do follow a healthy diet and a balanced diet, and I just do what the government says, really, just eat some healthy food and have some treats. I ain't gonna lie, I did try the Maffetone way of eating, and I've tried all these different fats and low carb, and they're just they're just not for me. I'm not the happiest when I'm doing that, and I think all foods are there to be tried, and there's not a food that I dislike, and that's up against me a little bit, but yeah, at the moment I'm managing to keep myself the weight I want to and all that with just eating those foods, so I'm happy where I am at the minute. One more interest of mine as well is a bit of carp fishing. It's not been a great year, I ain't gonna lie, but what a way to relax. Just put your feet up, get your stuff set out, and just sit there for the whole day, whether you catch or not, is a lovely, brilliant way to relax. One more interest of mine is music. I know that probably says the same for everyone, but I do love music. I listen to lots of music. I've learned to play music over the years. I've learned to play some piano, I've learned guitar, and I'm currently in a covers band with 3 other great lads. I'll see if I can find a picture to post up here. Yeah, that's us. We're busy, not at the moment because of COVID and not being able to play, but we've been going for 10 years and we play pretty much every weekend or every other weekend at least, and we've managed to do pretty well. I do the singing and guitar in, and the 3 other great lads as well, so that's a real good hobby of mine I'm really passionate about. I think, and we've got some YouTube videos actually if you want. I know it's totally unrelated to this, but I'll put a link up to one of our recordings that we've done if you like, just to see it in action and just see what you think, but that's a story for another time. And obviously, and last but not least, and a more recent hobby of mine really, is running. So as I said, I was pretty out of shape. It's over the space of 10 years, I've dabbled in and out of running. I was never brilliant at it. I've made the schoolboy error. I've spoken about it loads of times, so forgive me on that. I made the schoolboy error of just running the same track and trying to get faster and faster at that, like 3 or 4 times a week, and just really come into a dead end. Like, if that sounds like you, have a look at yourself, because that is not a good way to go. And trust me on this one, I've been there a few times. I've finally come to the realization that it's not the way to run, whether you're beating your times occasionally or not. It's a tiring way to run, and I'm glad that I've actually looked upon this now and started to learn a little bit about the whole running thing. And so one of the main reasons why I started to look into running and actually taking it serious and learning how to get properly fit was some medical issues. I probably shouldn't go into too much detail about it, but whilst I was out of shape and stuff like that, I had one night where I felt really, really ill over the space of 24 hours, and I was just deteriorating fast, and I couldn't even stand up without throwing up, and my head, it felt like my head was in a clamp. And my dad saw me and he just took me straight to A&E. I just thought I had like a bad migraine. It turned out it was viral meningitis, so lucky me. There was a bit of a panic. I just thought meningitis was meningitis, but there's actually 2 types, and thank goodness this was the one that was a virus rather than the bacterial one, which can cause real damage. But being said, it was absolutely dreadful. I don't recommend anyone getting that if you can help it. It took me months and months to get better, and this is when I finally thought it's time to start to look after yourself and get yourself into shape. But that was like 2.5 years ago now, so that's really the start of trying to do running properly. And over that 2.5 years, I've had little bouts of doing what I said earlier, just running too fast and too hard, and it's not a good way to go. And I eventually got to the start of this year, just about at the start of this COVID, where I started reading the books. I read 2 of the Phil Maffetone books, and I've got so into running, I've actually started reading books on it. I can't remember the last time I read a bloody book, but yeah, starting to really look into it and how the whole process of getting really properly fit works. I'm currently reading a book as well from Matt Fitzgerald about the 80-20 formula, if you wish. So yeah, this is where I've actually really got into running, and so much so that I wanted to do my YouTube channel for everyone to follow a journey on and see if it's worth you sort of partaking in it. So running has actually become my sort of main hobby really now. I've looked into it so much that I've kind of know that running slowly and trying to get a few miles in here and there is totally safe for your body to do. You're injury free, and it's something that you can do now. You can run until you're sort of old if you wish. I see a lot of people that are in their 60s and 70s that are still doing this, so it's definitely the perfect way to to be able to prolong your sort of running amateur career, I suppose, just keeping yourself fit. If you're going hard every single time you run, you're just destined for a short and early ending for running, in my opinion. And so I've been doing this low heart rate training called the Maffetone method. If you've seen my channel, then you know exactly what that is, I should imagine. Where I've been running at a low heart rate of 143. I've been doing that since about April, I believe. I'll have to look back exactly on that. So I've done some months of it, and I've seen some really good sort of gains on how fast I got to run. I started at like nearly 11-minute miles. I got down to sort of 8 to 8.5. I've recently gone back up to 9s, but I'm not concerned. I've got a lot of miles in compared to what I was doing before just doing this, and I'm completely injury free. I've never enjoyed running as much as I have done this year. It's been a bad year for a lot of people, and I'm not considering this one too terrible. I've been lucky that I don't know anyone with this whole COVID problem. I've been in an area that's not been highly affected. I've actually found the hobby of a lifetime in running. I highly recommend getting into it. I'm not trying to push the Maffetone method on to you. Just building the aerobic base is the whole formula you need, really. Like, looking after yourself and eating healthy is all part of the process, if you can. But just building yourself a base and just being able to run fast when you really want to, really. It doesn't have to be that every single time. Just building yourself up to be able to do it, do quality runs when it comes to it. That is the whole idea of it. And with that, I just want to now quickly speak about my future in this. I've been doing the Maffetone method. I've not done any fast runs really. I've done one half marathon, which I knocked sort of 6.5 minutes off. So that was just doing my heart rate a little bit higher than that. So I was really happy with that. I did a 5K last week, which I done in 20 minutes and 9 seconds. So that is the only 2 runs that I've done faster than doing the low heart rate running. So happy with those 2 results really, just over the space of a year. There's plenty more of that to come. But now feels like the right time to make it into the Maffetone phase 2 or even 80-20 running, where now I'm going to still run 4 days a week, but one of those is going to be a sort of quality run. Like, I'm going to put the intensity up a lot, or go do some hill runs or some interval training. And actually, I could probably need your help on this. If you could let me know what you think is the best speed work one to do, whether there's 2 different types to sort of mix over the space of 2 weeks. So from now, 80-20 mixed in with a bit of Maffetone method. I've looked into it a lot. Like I said, I've been reading the Matt Fitzgerald book, and I'm fully committed. That is it now. I've had a nice rest week. Next week, 4 runs, one of them being fast. And I'm going to see how this affects or hopefully improves the Maffetone and low heart rate running that I've been doing. So that is about it from me. The moral of the story here is, if you are sort of out of shape and not happy, and you're not really enjoying your running, give all this a try. Run slowly, do 3 or 4 times a week, or whenever you can, fit it in. It really changes your life, and I'm not just over exaggerating, where I've never sort of been so happy with how life's going and the condition that you can get yourself into as well, and just really feeling positive and happy about yourself. So that's it from me. If you like what we've seen, I hope this has been helpful. Please think about hitting the subscribe button down here, and I'll speak to you again very soon. Thanks so much. Stevo.